to know my kids beyond the surface level things, and it gives me a chance to really build some memories with them.
Amen to that. All right, that's Nightly News for this Monday. I'm Tom Llamas. We thank you so much for watching tonight, and always, we're here for you. Good night.
KUAM News headlines are presented by Calvo's Insurance, protecting Micronesia for 85 years. Matson and the Adai Itano program. Apply at matson.com and McDonald's of Guam. I'm loving it.
Ahead on KUAM News Primetime.
A budget veto is sending Guam's spending plan back to the negotiating table. I'm Nevaeh Anderson with why the governor says her revised proposal better protects essential services and the island's bottom line.
The childcare industry is struggling to stay afloat as they continue to face federal funding delays and a critical funding shortfall. I'm Mitsuki Hirayama with that story next.
SIFA Charter School will be starting the new school year inside a GDOE campus. I'm Don Sulet with the details on how the manta rays and the geckos will co-inhabit GW High.
Half a day and good evening. Welcome to KUAM News Prime Time. I'm Jason Salas. Thank you so much for ending your day with us. And in our top story, the debate over Guam's next budget isn't over yet, as Governor Lulian Guerrero's veto is calling senators back to the drawing board to review her revised spending plan ahead of the new fiscal year. Nevaeh Anderson has the story.
Guam's fiscal year 2027 budget may have cleared the legislature, but it hasn't yet crossed the finish line. Governor Lulian Guerrero's veto reopened negotiations over how to fund critical government services, setting the stage for another round of debate before the fiscal year begins. In a press release, the governor has stated that her issue with lawmakers' budget isn't the scheduled rollback of Guam's business privilege tax to 4%, but rather how to replace the recurring government revenues lost by that reduction while keeping the budget balanced. In her veto message, Leon Guerrero argues the reduction leaves critical services, including health care, law enforcement, behavioral health, services for seniors and people with disabilities, and youth programs underfunded. Her revised proposal would restore roughly $18 million in funding for those services using updated recurring corporate income tax revenue projections, coming out to just a 1.5% difference between Adelup and Senator's general fund budget projections.
So to me, that means the governor agrees with 98.5% of what this legislature passed. If that's what we're going to quibble over, then I think that we'll go in on the governor's call and basically, see to it that those resources and that appropriation is there.
While the governor says it's necessary to restore essential appropriations, Finance and Government Operations Committee Chair Senator Chris Duenas believes those programs were already adequately funded in the legislature's version.
We disagree that we underfunded those programs. A lot of those agencies are lapsing funds. And also on the law enforcement, she's trying to fund them for a full year of recruitment when we know that the recruitment start later in March. But you know what? If that means more recruitments, if they are able to start earlier than March, then we're okay with that. I'm okay with that appropriation. But we didn't underfund anything. We basically did it based on what we saw the needs were.
Duenas says the relatively small difference between the two proposals leaves room for compromise during the upcoming 10th special session.
I think we're not far off, and we never were far off in terms of what the budget actually does. The 4% is going to be good for Guam. Businesses will get the relief, people will get the relief, and our economy will continue to grow. And that's what we need to do. We can't tax our way into recovery. We have to help businesses recover so that more tax money comes into the government.
Adelup's revised proposal also appropriates $7.6 million in unobligated fiscal year 2026 general fund revenues to continue Guam's Child Care and Development Fund subsidy program through fiscal year 2027. According to the administration, that funding is separate from legislation currently before lawmakers addressing the federal funding shortfall in the 9th special session and is necessary to sustain the program next fiscal year. Lawmakers are expected to reconvene for a 10th special session on August 10th to consider the governor's revised budget. With the start of fiscal year 2027 just weeks away, both branches will be working toward a final spending plan before the end of September to avoid a potential government shutdown. Nevaeh Anderson, KUAM News.
Lawmakers reconvened special session today to address the governor's bill for several urgent funding priorities to include child care subsidy payments. Now, as you may recall, it's been a cause of heated debate ongoing for some time now before being temporarily halted due to the primary election. And while those discussions continued in the People's House, we hear directly from the child care industry being impacted by the delays. Matsuki Hirayama reports.
Guam's child care industry is struggling to stay afloat as local providers continue to face a delay in how federal funds are dispersed and a funding shortfall for the fiscal year. It's why government leaders are considering local funding to close the gap so no child gets left behind.
Senator, there is no money to pay June. That's why I'm asking for the 7.6. 7.6 includes partial of June.
Department of Public Health and Social Services Director Teresa Arreola tells senators the agency needs $7.6 million in local funds to pay 68 child care providers for June, July, and August. This as the need is at roughly $29 million, but federal funds only cover $22 million. But lawmakers grilling a panel of public health officials Tuesday looking into the systemic gaps.
Do we need a different approach to help working families with child care?
Senator Sean Gumatautau calls the appropriation a, quote, one-time fix.
You're correct, Senator. It's not going to be the last appropriation. It's what we need. This 7.6 is what we're going to need to finish off the year and pay the subsidies. Next year, you received the governor's supplemental bill that will include roughly the same amount because we're hoping and that we're going to get the same $22 million.
Meanwhile, KUAM had the opportunity to hear directly from those in the childcare industry. Bambini Montessori school owner Subhasri Nagarajan speaks with us over the phone.
So far, I'm able to pay the employees. I'm able to pay all the utility bills. For the past 5 years, I'm running this facility. For the future, how it's going to go, if they are going to pass the legislation, I will be thankful.
As a small business owner operating for the past 25 years, Nagarajan was able to plan ahead to continue to keep her doors open, but she's worried that won't be the case if senators don't pass the supplemental child care subsidy.
If I am going to, it is going to continue the same way, I don't know how we will be able to manage. Probably it will lead to closure. That I am worried about it. So please, assistance childcare, make it a priority in the legislature, please.
On the other hand, the Giving Tree President and CEO Melanie Tamandong tells us that she's already been forced to stop accepting families on a Child Care Development Fund program after facing months of backed-up payments beginning last year. She notes the Giving Tree operates 5 centers that could be under the program, but is not due to the delayed payments. It was a hard decision that impacted enrollment, but one needed to preserve the quality of care, keep employees paid, and avoid closure. She says, quote, because of the hard decision we made 9 months ago, our business right now is on solid financial ground. But moving forward, Tamandong says the real commitment she wants to see from GovGuam leaders to keep the industry going would be an accurate state plan and a solution to the bottleneck in processing the federal funds. She says, quote, right now the state plan reflects a lower amount than what the cost of living or the cost of childcare is on Guam. That's why there is such a big gap in the money needed for families to pay for childcare. She adds, right now we're barely breaking even. We're not getting rich off of childcare. We're really just trying to accommodate families and keep our businesses open. Matsuki Hirayama, KUAM News.
In education-related news, we look into how SIFA Charter School may be moving into a GDOE campus. This as the 2026-2027 school year is just around the corner. Reporting on this story is KUAM's Don Sulat.
With the first day back to school just 6 days away, it appears the manta rays and the geckos will co-inhabit the George Washington High campus. With a memorandum of understanding between the Guam Department of Education and Science's Fun and Awesome Learning Academy Charter School being signed yesterday, August 3rd. The topic of SIFA Charter School occupying parts of the GW campus making public discussion in the Guam Education Board's July meeting. GDOE Superintendent Dr. Judy Wanpat telling the GEB that SIFA was able to identify an estimated 16 classrooms in GW's campus,
where there will be no commingling of the students, and they have of course, this will be on a lease on, per classroom, and we need to come up with an MOU.
As KUAM previously reported, CFA was looking for a temporary home after a quote-unquote regulatory matter put a delay in the charter school relocating to their new Tamuning location, along with the Guam Community College being unable to accommodate them in the upcoming school year. The temporary relocation of CFA to GW was met with some criticism. An anonymous source telling KUAM that GW was not present when the MOU was signed yesterday. Meanwhile, the GEB brought up a concern on what would happen should GW's enrollment go up and they need an extra classroom.
We found out that there are extra classrooms anyway that are being used as offices, and those are not even being touched.
Additionally, Committee on Education Oversight Chair Senator Vince Borja is requesting for clarification on the MOU between GDOE and CFA as it could affect special education. With Senator Borja saying GW special ed teachers are concerned that the proposed arrangements, quote, may compromise services, classroom availability, instructional continuity, and the ability of GW to meet the needs of its own students with disabilities, end quote. Reporting for KUAM News, I'm Don Sulet.
Keep it here. You're watching KUAM.
Let's do this. Pack the backpack. Fill the lunchbox. Cover the basics. Start new adventures. Whatever's on the schedule, Kmart has everything you need, all in one stop. Kmart, let's make a great school year.
Anything's possible. I push to the limits. I climb every wall. I keep on believing. Anything's possible.
If there's one thing we've learned, it's never to underestimate the spirit and strength of the people of our island home. Which is why at Bank of Hawaii, you, your dreams, and your possibilities will always have a home. Reach your possible with Bank of Hawaii.
Guam has secured another major federal investment aimed at expanding workforce training opportunities. The Guam Department of Labor has been awarded a more than $609,000 federal grant with which to strengthen registered apprenticeship and pre-apprenticeship programs across the island. According to the Leon Tenorio administration, the funding will support training, related instruction, and employer partnerships while helping prepare residents for careers in high-demand industries, including artificial intelligence, infrastructure, shipbuilding, advanced manufacturing, and information technology. Officials say the grant will also allow GDOL to enroll at least 150 pre-apprenticeship participants and expand apprenticeship opportunities for high school students. The administration says registered apprenticeships on Guam have grown from about 240 participants in 2019 to more than 1,300 this year, with workers training in fields including construction, healthcare, hospitality, public service, and automotive trades. Well, government officials, military leaders, and community members gathered on Monday for the proclamation signing recognizing employer support of the Guard and Reserve Week and the important role employers play in supporting Guard and Reserve service members. ESGR State Chair for the Guam and CNMI Committee, Kathy Gogui, expressed her appreciation for the continued support shown to Guard and Reservists as well as their employers.
And this is really, the whole week is to recognize employers for what they do for your service members. And, you know, without the employers providing their support while our service members are off either on annual training or deployed, you know, and having their team cover for them, there would be no EHD or USERA to protect them. And so we're just so grateful that our employers are there to support our service members. And we're so grateful to our RC leaders for supporting us as we are out doing briefs in your units or commands. And we just always want you to know as RC leaders that we're very grateful to you and we're grateful for our relationship that we have with you folks. And we hope that to continue on with this relationship.
The proclamation recognizes the vital support employers provide to Guam's Guard and Reserve members. And last weekend, another shipment of Typhoon relief supplies made their way from boat base in Hagåtña, about 40 miles up north, to Rota. A team effort from our community, from families, individuals, and several island businesses gathered the sizable connection of bottled water, various canned goods, lots of rice, ramen, and pet food to help our neighbors who continue to rebuild after the devastating impacts from Super Typhoon Bavi. The goodwill donation was brought by boat to the harbor at Rota Pier Bay.
Now for a look at your world at home.
We're taking you over to the water's edge over in Piri at the Marianas Yacht Club on a great day for sailing.
Wahu imas masasanan, wahu mas maatan, apapoludu natay bahay.
Don't need a work break, keep the smile on your face. The moments you can't replace, and I'll be around. Whoa. You can count on me. You can count on me for life.
Wherever life takes you, we're always here for you. Calvo's Insurance. Count on us for life.
Only Pizza Hut lets you surround your favorite pizza with greatness. Get a medium one-topping stuffed crust pizza for just $14.99. At that price, it's irresistible. Get yours today, only at Pizza Hut, the island's best.
Let's go to Grandma's.
Oh man. The only thing slower than her internet is her stories.
Yeah, last time my video loaded, I aged 1 year.
Is that? No way. Awesome.
Grandma, your internet slaps.
Sign up for GTA Fiber today and get grandkid approved internet for as low as $75 a month.
Hey, let's go.
Oh man.
Tonight's sports feature is brought to you by Cars Plus.
Half a day, everybody. I'm Jason Salas here at the Marianas Yacht Club down in Piri. We have Tia Nelson and Patricia Cassidy, and they are running a sailing summer camp. Now, Patricia, I first caught up with you about 2-3 years ago and everything like that. Youth sailing is really, really big right now, and you guys are really growing the sport. Yeah, so tell me all about it.
So we really wanted to grow the program because we grew up here. We grew up going to the sailing camp. Our families were both members. And we really just want to make these kids feel welcome, be comfortable on the water. And yeah, I think that we really want to grow our local community a little bit more. And so we want to just get the word out there as much as we can.
Yeah. I think it's our time to give back because this island has given both of us so much and so many opportunities, and we just want to do the same for this upcoming generation of kids.
Okay, now as Guamanians, we love the water, we love to compete, we love nature, we respect nature, and we always realize the safety first. But Tia, there is a challenge to this because even if you grew up on Guam your entire life, right? I'm 52, and I love going to the beach. You may say you surf, you swim, you paddle, you dog paddle and everything like that. This is a completely different way of being out on the water, and it has its own distinct disciplines.
I mean, it 100% is. There's currents that you can't see, and I mean, we all know that. We have a lot of drownings each year from just tourists at Retidian, for example, and we just always have to be aware. I'm lifeguard certified, and so is a couple other members on our team. So safety is our #1 priority, but yeah, we always are watching that.
Okay, Patricia, this is one of those sports which I am such a big fan of because unlike maybe basketball or volleyball or tennis where we just clean the court and then the playing surface is the same every single time out. You literally do not know what you're going to have one day to the next as far as what Mother Nature gives you.
Yeah, like take today for example. It's pretty gusty, the current is strong, and we had to cancel camp because it's unsafe for kids to be on the water, but eventually they'll get to the point where they can sail these crazy winds, and Guam is such a great place to learn because you really never know what you're going to get, and you're kind of prepared for anything, and any international competition, you're ready for everything except for the cold waters.
No, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
That does take some getting used to. Okay, now when we talk about like youth sailing and everything like that, how little kids are we talking about?
Our youngest is 8 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, and so we call them optimists. They're kind of these sailboats that we call them floating bathtubs, and the kids don't really love them, but it's the best way to learn, and it's the best way that they can be by themselves, and they really learn like a lot of confidence on the water being there, and obviously we're there like teaching them, guiding them. We have a great team of instructors that do a very good job of helping the kids and stuff, but yeah, we start as little as 8 years old, and we encourage them to go even into adult sailing.
Okay, and then Tia, like you guys are actually instructing little kids to say, if your boat takes on water, you have to learn how to bail quickly and safely. If the wind shifts, you have to learn how to like adjust to those and everything. So I mean, it really is a thinking person's game too.
I mean, 100%. You have to be aware of your surroundings and thinking the next step ahead. And sailing is a very tactical sport. So like understanding the wind and how to get upwind and downwind and all that, it's a big part of it.
Okay, now I did this story about 3 years ago, as I was saying, the term tack, and I love how the fact you brought up like tactical. What exactly does that mean? Because I know it's when you turn and because you can't just go like in a straight line back to the beach and everything.
Tacking is an upwind change of direction, and jibing is a downwind change of direction. So tacking, the mast will just move from one side to the other, where jibing, it does move from one side to the other, but it goes around the boat, and it's a lot faster of a movement. Yeah.
And there is a whole culture, there's a vernacular, there's a vocabulary to tacking, jibing, like everything like that. But how physically developed do you have to be? I mean, that's cool that you guys are starting with like 8-year-olds, but some kids may say, I don't think I'm strong enough, I'm a little bit on the short side, or I might be a little bit too heavy and everything like that. So
I mean, it doesn't take a lot. Like in light winds, pretty much anyone can control the boat.
Excellent.
It's not very demanding, but of course, like the winds get stronger, you learn more tactical skills like hiking out, which requires a lot of core muscles. And the kids aren't really doing that yet, but I mean, it comes with the sport. Like, you grow the muscles that you need for that sport.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say anyone of any nature, they can start and learn how to sail. The basics are very easy to learn. And then once you get into the more competitive side, that's when you learn like, oh, I need these muscles to manipulate the boat a certain way, and I need to pull in this rope, so I need to be strong in my upper body.
Freedom, that's a cheap thing. Freedom to ignore this, that's a cheap thing. Sacrificing facial hair to nature and involuntary blood donations, cheap things. No one signs up for an 800-pound bear chase, but if it happens, cheap thing. VIP parking, exfoliating, treating gravity like a suggestion, saying it'll dry. Free-range parenting, forgetting if that's a moose or an elk, all cheap things. Remembering without saying it, couldn't be more of a cheap thing. Sweating your tail off, freezing your tail off, an American saving another American's tail. Cheap things. Making a cheap vehicle for only people with cash like him? Not a cheap thing. Or confusing capability with unaffordability? No, not a cheap thing. Making adventure affordable? Now that's a cheap thing. So we're bringing you more cheap things this year, because cheap things should be everyone's thing.
Now it pays to spread the Better Together experience. With our brand new referral program, you can earn up to $150 in account credits for every referral you bring in. That's right, family, neighbors, friends, even your coworkers. Just pass them your account name and account number. When they sign up for Docomo Pacific service and drop your info, cha-ching! Credit applied. So spread the word and start stacking those savings. Additional conditions may apply. Docomo Pacific, we're better together.
Slow roasted chicken at Taco Bell. It's inside the new Cantina Chicken Rolled Quesadilla. Yeah, it's in there. He gets it. The new Cantina Chicken Rolled Quesadilla, only at Taco Bell.
Giving Every Tuesday is brought to you by Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, One Love.
As students prepare to head back to the classroom, KUAM Care Force is once again teaming up with community partners to help ensure every child starts the school year with the supplies they need. This week's Giving Tuesday highlights a back-to-school drive that invites the island to make a difference, one backpack, notebook, or pencil at a time. A new school year brings new opportunities, but for many families, it also brings added financial pressure. That's why KUAM Care Force is partnering with Raising Cane's and community sponsors for a back-to-school drive aimed at helping local students start the year prepared and confident. The community is invited to donate new school supplies on Saturday, August 8th from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. at the Raising Cane's location inside the Micronesia Mall food court. Items being collected include backpacks, notebooks, lined paper, pencils, pens, folders, binders, crayons, glue sticks, child-safe scissors, erasers, and sticky notes. Every donation, big or small, will help ease the burden on families while ensuring students have the basic tools they need to succeed in the classroom. The back-to-school drive is supported by Raising Cane's, KUAM Care Force, Shell, Foodies, Pacific Points, and the Foundation for Public Education. Organizers say the goal is simple: bring the community together to invest in Guam students and give them the best start to their school year. So if you're planning a trip to the store this week, consider picking up an extra notebook, a pack of pencils, or even a new backpack. Your donation could make a meaningful difference in a child's first day of school. The back-to-school drive will be held again Saturday, August 8th from noon to 2 p.m. at Raising Cane's in the Micronesia Mall food court. Community members are encouraged to stop by with new school supplies and help local students head back to school ready to learn.
Giving Every Tuesday is brought to you by Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, One Love. News Bites is brought to you by Docomo Pacific Better Together, Fresco Clothing, original custom design apparel of Guam and the Marianas. You know, folks, on News Bites, just as in life, some things can't be rushed, right? So I'm going to take my time with News Bites tonight because heading into the fall, you know, we got a little bit of summer left, right? A little bit of summer, but heading into the fall season, whether it's raining or it's sunshiny here on the island, there are amazing things going on in our community for people of all ages, and we want you to get involved because they're going to help our community, you're going to feel good about yourself, and you're going to have fun and possibly even save money, all right? First off, if you are a pet owner, and there's lots and lots of dog moms, cat dads all over the place, right? There is the SNP clinic, the Spay and Neuter Island Pets, and it is coming to Central Guam. So make sure to head over to Sinania. The Sinania Mayor's office, shout out to Mayor Robert Hoffman and his staff for always hosting this event. They turned it into a proper clinic, and the animals are spayed and neutered in a safe, swift way. The people doing it there are experts. And this is happening from August the 11th through the 20th, right? Only $50, and you can make sure that you can get population control down on the island. Because remember, like a couple years ago, 60,000 stray animals were roaming the streets. That's not a typo, I didn't stutter, right? 60,000, 60K, if you're cool, or if you're a finance major, 60000. That's a lot of animals, right? So we need to make sure that we can control our population, and please make sure to get your animals spayed and neutered. We love animals here at KUAM. All right, coming up, back to school drive. Remember what I told you about the fall? Back to school is coming up, and so we at the KUAM Care Force are working with our friends over at the Micronesia Mall, because in the food court, we're heading over to Raising Cane's. Not only do they make amazing chicken fingers and that sauce that General Manager Dave Martinez still has yet to tell me what is in it. Please, Dave, I want this to be the year. Right? But they're known for their chicken fingers. They're also known for really giving back to the community, and they are an unbelievable big supporter of back to school. You know, you see students go to Raising Cane's after school. They get fueled prior to a game, before practice, before study hall. Whatever the thing is, Raising Cane's has always worked with us, and we are super excited to put our big box there because you can donate backpacks, notebooks, pencils, pens, glue sticks. They still use glue sticks? Yeah, I guess in art class, right? Sticky notes, anything that kids would need when they head back to class at any level, elementary, high school, middle school, anything that they could use to be successful. We want to empower our kids with the tools and techniques that they can be awesome, all right? Because school is fun. I love school. Could you tell? But we'll see you there at Raising Cane's on Saturday. Please make sure and swing by, and please consider donating because the kids really, really appreciate it. All right? And then speaking of kids, Weddingale Elementary School is getting the jump, or I should say, getting the run or walk, because that's what they're doing. Wait, Mitch, do deers run and walk? Yeah, I think they trot. Mitch Matabuson, the best in the business, everybody. They trot, right? So make sure that you trot and hit this QR code. That makes perfect sense, right? And make sure to register at the Lacing Up for Literacy 2K, 5K, Run Walk. Again, I love this poster. See, AI is not so bad, everybody. AI is cool. You make this incredible poster of the deerling lacing up and getting ready for his or her run. And then you can help the kids over at Weddingale Elementary School because the deerlings are getting ready and they are going to have a fun sports activity, which you know I'm all about, and then they are also going to read, which you know I love to read. I read 2 to 3 books a week. Comic books are books too. The Bible is a book too. You know, little cartoons, comic strips, that's reading, right? Have fun with reading and be like Weddingale, right? Have a love for literacy. Shout out to all of the faculty and staff over there at the home of the Fightin' Binaru. And they're getting it done, lacing up for literacy, all right? Birthday shout outs now, and we got some good ones tonight. Happy blessed birthday to Livy and Irie's beautiful mommy, Megan Guerrero. We love you so much, and thank you for being the best mom to our girls from Mom, Dad, Hannah, Chloe, and your entire Tobes and Guerrero familia. Happy 3rd birthday to Win. You are getting love, favorite, and family birthday shout out, which is awesome. Happy birthday number 21 to Camille Carlene Guzman, and to our beautiful daughter. Mom and Dad are saying love always, and we're very proud of you. Happy birthday wishes to Janet Tilfvander from her family in Guam. She's a longtime educator at St. John's, a mother, grandmother, and lifelong partner to Russell, with whom she recently celebrated 57 years of marriage. Congratulations. Happy birthday and happy belated anniversary from your granddaughter, Matsuki. Miss Janet, we wish you a very happy birthday and a happy 57th anniversary. Matsuki's very, very proud of you. And Susan Guerrero, on your birthday, we thank God for the gift of you, and we pray that God covers you with his favor, protects you, and blesses you every day. We love you, and happy birthday to the beautiful Susan. Want to wish your special someone a happy birthday? Just click the QR code here on your screen or email birthdayclub@kuam.com. All right, Janice Carrasco from the back just sent me a note, and she says, Jason, please smile. Yes, we are smiling because you tuned in tonight, so thank you as always, everybody. Remember, if you missed anything on our newscast, you can always check us out at any social media platform. We are at KUAM News. Share half a day, everybody. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching Health, Home, and Lifestyle right here on KUAM. Check us out anytime on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/KUAM News, for all of our episodes about how you can live a happy and healthy island life. Hafide Guam, I'm Jason Salas, and I'm down here in PD at the Marianas Yacht Club. Wonderful, wonderful weather today to get out and really enjoy the end of summer. Get out and do some sailing, hang out at the beach, and that's what it's all about here on Health, Home, and Lifestyle. We're teaching you how to live a happy and healthy island life. Here is what we have for you this week. Good show. All right, everybody, Hafide, and welcome to House to Home. We got 4 people in the KUM News Zoom room this week. Liz and Gina, are, of course, are always here. You know, I'm not going anywhere. I'm the KUM all the time. And we are joined by our friend Peter Bautista, who was in the States and working throughout the world as part of the federal government, and now back on Guam soil. He's been back for a year. Pete, we're very good, very happy to have you here.
Thank you for having me here. I'm with the Guam EPA, and I'm the chief engineer from the Water Division.
There you go. Well, certainly a lot going on there with our friends at the EPA, and we appreciate the service that you guys provide our island.
Thank you.
Okay, now, Gina, this guest was your idea and everything, because we want to kind of like tie this into what we were talking with Senator Duenas last week about the nitrate system and everything. So Pete's technical expertise is certainly going to come in handy.
Oh, absolutely. Plus, we understand that Mr. Bautista is instrumental in getting the regulations put into place. And I think that is supposed to have taken place last week. And, you know, we get a lot of families that contact us. They know it isn't about real estate, but to them, if it has anything to do with dirt, they're going to call us and say, hey. And we've actually had a bunch of owners that are reaching out to us because they're concerned. They either couldn't get their permit because they've been waiting for the regulations. And Peter, I want to thank you because when I emailed you, you're very gracious to share information which we then pass on to these owners, these landowners who have been waiting to get their permit or are in the process of doing their drawing. So thank you for being with us today and sharing the information and getting the word out to the public.
You're welcome.
And of course, because Pete works for the Guam EPA, as long as that dirt that Gina was talking about is not contaminated, then Pete's a happy guy.
Us too.
Yeah.
Okay, so Peter, what is your scope of responsibility with the nitrate system and making sure, from your expertise as someone who cares about, the actual and literal environments upon which these properties sit and everything like that, what is your scope of responsibility?
Well, as the chief engineer working with the water division, we oversee the 3 water sections, and one of which is the water pollution control program. And they're the authority, or this section, the program that's responsible for on-site waste systems, as well as soil erosion control and things like that. So our responsibility here in Guam EPA is to, create the regulations and the permit requirements necessary to, approve the installation of residential, commercial, industrial operations that usually entail a waste disposal system. So with respect to the on-site waste disposal regulations that we revised, we've incorporated, kind of the state-of-the-art waste systems available around the world. The nitrogen reducing on-site disposal system is what I'm talking about. The ANOD system, otherwise known as Type 4 systems, and it reduces nitrogen through biological and anaerobic, aerobic treatment methods. And so it's good for the environment because it removes some of the nitrates. It removes up to 90% actually.
Wow.
And our regs require that the system that you install has to be certified to NSF 425, an environmental standard, and to ensure that the nitrate removal is there with the system, is certified. And so we know what we're putting in the ground is going to protect the groundwater lens of Guam.
I had a question. So can you confirm that the regulations are in place now?
Yeah, Ms. Campus, they are approved by the legislature. Although they're not posted yet at the compiler's office, so we're not able to share the actual certified regs. But verbally and by mail, we were able to confirm that they were passed by the legislature and at the compiler's office. Yeah.
Fantastic.
So
now
permits are being approved now and moving forward?
As of this week, we are now reaching out to the existing permits that were in queue and were held after the lapse of the last interim law that was passed.
Can you tell us approximately how many of those are?
Yeah, I was going to ask.
I don't know. I don't know offhand, but I know there's several. There's at least about 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
Peter, I wanted to ask you a question, and this might. Well, anyway, I want your opinion on this. In the past, the Guam EPA had the discretion to approve, like for instance, over the GPZ zone. In the past, these regulations, the septic tank regulations, have always been in place, but there was a point in time where EPA, through its discretionary authority, was able to approve 929 square meters up in Jigo to build using a regular septic tank. And that's documented fact, because we could drive up to Jigo and we could see all the homes that are built on 1/4-acre lots with septic tanks. I know that this particular bill that went into place, I know it didn't, it really only was meant to address the discrepancy between decedent landowners, because there was a point in time where the chief engineer for EPA said, wait a minute, I'm now going to enforce 1/2-acre lots And if you don't have a half-acre lot over the GPZ zone, you cannot use a septic tank. That was discretionary because part of that, they were allowing it. So now my question is, this bill, you called it state of the art. You just described the type 4 state of the art system, but the law did not address whether or not this state of the art system could be used for non-decedent estates. Parental, it's okay. Parental landowners can build with a regular septic tank. Decedent landowners over the GPZ now can utilize, if they have less than half an acre, they can utilize the state-of-the-art type 4 system. Do you believe at some point, or with some homeowners, because there are some landowners who have property, they either own the land, it was not a decedent estate or a parental, but they have properties that are less than half acre over the GPZ zone. Do you believe that EPA could authorize through your discretionary powers to allow these homeowners, these landowners, to build on their less than half an acre lot without sewer using the state-of-the-art system until the legislature catches up and perhaps amends the law to include these owners as well? It's a long question.
That's a real hot question. And it's a bit.
Is it hot? I love hot topics. Okay.
I was like, gosh, Gina, why don't you just ask him if, like an old man can go out and start building this huge boat and invite 2 of every type of animal just in case it rains?
No, but it's an issue that of course I believe will be addressed through the legislature. But Peter, you're calling it the state of the art system. Wouldn't it be great if we could get everybody to use it instead of the septic tank, right? I mean, wouldn't that be great? But EPA does have discretionary powers, and we could see that because we used to be able to build on quarter-acre lots with septic tanks, and now we can't. That's discretionary.
Yeah,
and so I'm hoping.
As far as the historical factual evidence that actually happened, I mean, I can't confirm or deny that. I mean, it probably did. Who knows? There's lots of development out there that doesn't conform to anything.
When a crispier McCrispy strip is created, only the best sauce will do. Behold, chicken Caesary greatness. Caesar sauce at McDonald's for limited time.
Tourism is Guam's #1 industry. It creates jobs and brings in spending. When a visitor comes to Guam, they spend their money on hotels, on transportation, on shopping, on dining out. They're happy they came to Guam. You know who else is happy? The hotel they stayed in, and the bellhop at the hotel. The tour bus drivers and tour guides. The stores they shopped at, and the banks they used. The restaurant and the waitstaff. The supplier who delivered the ingredients, and the farmer who supplied the produce. From real estate to retail, tourism has a positive impact on every industry. When tourists pay taxes, it means locals pay less. Let's make sure our local economy grows so it becomes stronger and more sustainable. Make Guam a better place to live, work, and visit. Support tourism.
And I don't know for sure if Pago Bay Estates is that still. But if you say it is, because it isn't sewer down there, then it's got to be
sewer.
Yeah.
So they're on a unique type of system. ASEAN Hotel in Jonia is on its own unique type of system, and these subdivisions all went through the EPA. So at the time, I don't know what was it more. I'm not going to say it was less regulation. I think they were able to adapt the subdivision to a unique system that fit for that particular time.
Because also where I'm going with this is like, could we see maybe 15, 20 years down the road a great migration
I don't see why not, Jason. I mean, that's the way of the future. And like Leo Palace is it's practically a city.
Great example. Yeah.
and they have their own on-site waste community waste system. You know, they have a sewage treatment plant and a sewer collection system. So I mean that's the highest in the scale as far as that goes. But like Pagu Bay Estates and perhaps some other places that in the near future. I mean, I've been hearing lots of how would you say, opportunities or lots of talk about, you know, the potential for community on-site waste systems. People that are investing or interested in investing in those cells in that sort of a business have been talking to me. So it's at the cusp of the coastline here on Guam. It's coming on shore sometime soon. And really, that's the way to do it. If you're if you're a community subdivision that isn't tied up to the sewer system, then you got to come up with some alternative. And EPA in the laws in our regs actually mentions that to some extent.
Pete, how about the 2,000 homes up in the north that are close to the sewer system but have not hooked up to the system? I know many years ago, EPA, I think there were fines that were supposed to be imposed that if you're so many feet from the sewer system that you were required to hook up. What happened to that regulation or process?
I mean, I think it's, that requirement, those regulations still exist. And it's GWA working with EPA to be, I mean, GWA sends out the notices to the residents that are within that threshold of 200 feet from an existing or a new lateral or a manhole that's close by. They will notify them that they're given so much time to connect into the sewer line or they'd be fined. So I mean that's still present, that's still current. It just hasn't been enforced lately. But I did want to, so that's what I know about it, and I know that GWA is the responsible utility for wastewater treatment and the sewer line. So they're the authority. We work with them in the permitting, and we also work with them in the design, the construction, and even the federal Region 9 US EPA provides grant funds for those capital type of improvements. I mean, a large extent comes from US EPA. A lot of the funds that are spent for GWA upgrades for the wastewater treatments and force mains and pump stations and what have you is paid for by Uncle Sam through the US EPA. Yeah, and that's hardly ever mentioned. All you hear is that, something was done and improvements were made and great jobs, GWA, which is great. But nothing is ever said about where the source of funds came from. And it's usually Region 9 US EPA. So every year they compete, they're given a grant, how would you say, invite to our proposal, ask to send in their proposals, and then we help US EPA prioritize what projects would be awarded each and every year. And that money is spent to, like right now they're working on the Attica, force mains up there in Back Road, Mangilau, Laddie Heights, in the back there that isn't sewered. They're putting in additional sewer lines. They're putting in force mains or pump stations to pump it towards the sewer line on the main arterial there. And there's a priority of projects that GWA is working on to make improvements to the sewer line, to capture those residential units that aren't currently tied in. So that because of wells there, and the well system is quite intense, and they're seeing nitrate contamination anywhere in these places that aren't sewered. So they're always working on extending things, putting pump stations so that they can, reach the furthest leg and pump it out, that sort of stuff. So we're doing what we can. Again, subdivisions is the way to go. Community development projects is the way to go too. And then for the individual landowners, it's using these types of systems throughout Guam, not just Northern Guam. Northern Guam is kind of special because that's our aquifer. 80% of our water comes from there. And we even have bases on them. And we permit the Milcom project so that they don't contaminate things either. And so, we don't take sides. The only sides we take is to protect their aquifer and the people of Guam.
Thank you. Pete, can you send us a copy of the regs so that we can at least hand them out to our clients if they have any questions?
What I can't say is as far as outreach and or awareness information is we are currently at the moment updating our website for all the forms and then that's needed for holding tanks and that's needed for the ANON systems for residential and then the holding tanks for commercial and residential use. And just like you said, Liz, there's a whole level of intensity that's added on to this sort of sophisticated system, because you're buying a manufactured proprietary kind of product. We need it to be certified. The installer has to be certified by Guam EPA and also by the manufacturer that they're installing their NSF certified system to their specs and their assurances. So there's that certification. The installer has to be certified through EPA. The O&M contractor that's going to do the monthly checks on these systems and to remove sludge and to ensure that the blower, the aerator is working and that everything is, electrically functioning and physically working. There's going to be that O&M contract that's going to be required every time you renew. It's these operating permits, once they're installed, is every 2 years for these ANONs and every year for a holding tank. And like with the holding tanks, we've made so much improvements in these new regs, so that there's water tightness. There's there's the requirements for an alarm system for whenever it's full, and or on and off switches for the mechanical setup. So it's a lot more involved. It's going to cost more with contracts and particular contractors, but it's safe and it's a good system, but it's going to be an investment compared to just the typical septic tank. It's like a power bill.
Can we have you come back again to go over that? I guess once you have everything in place, it'd be nice for people to hear, okay, you're going to need to do A, B, C, D, and you're going to, the whole shebang of what is needed and required with our new system.
Yeah, absolutely. You're welcome on the show anytime, Pete.
Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate you taking the time to be with us.
Absolutely. Thanks for the knowledge. Peter Bautista, everybody from the Guam EPA. And now that we've talked about sludge and sewer and nitrate contamination, have a nice lunch, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
All kidding aside, much appreciated, Pete. We do value the information.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
And the information, the FAQs, the forms, and the updates are going to be on our website as of this week. So
excellent.
We're starting to entertain new applications. Those ones that were on hold and in queue, and starting with those first. So, be in the lookout. All this information will be rolled out via our website, and also some press releases soon to follow.
That's exciting. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Have a good day, everybody. Bye-bye.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist. Over 20 years of experience.
Weekly Renewal is brought to you by Calvo's Select Care.
Shamanic journeying in my practice, because it's different for so many practitioners, I work with my ancestors, my guides, such as power animals, herbs, and we work with either my own energy field, or if I'm working with a client, their guides, their ancestors, and finding imbalances and intrusions of energy and bringing their system back into balance with the intention of holding their highest good and the highest good of all.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that is what holistic health and wellness is about. And that's why I thought it was important to have this conversation. August is National Wellness Month.
Oh.
And yeah, and so a lot of times I think we separate the brain from the body, from like the physical to the mental, emotional to the energetic, forgetting that no, we are whole, we are all of that.
Yeah.
So it's wonderful that you practice, you don't do the separation, you bring it all together and get to the root of issues and see the connection.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so moving into, for those who don't quite understand, like you already discussed a little bit about what a shamanic journey is. So you are a licensed massage therapist, and when you say holistic health practitioner, that involves everything from
the physical body, as well as the energetic and the emotional body. I do like to incorporate herbs as well, because you can massage a muscle all day long, but if it doesn't have the minerals, the materials it needs to reset and repair, then it's all for nothing, really.
Right,
so you
right.
have to provide an environment of healing. And I think at the root of holistic health is